All right, Gym Teacher Dreams podcast. Here we are again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. And
Hmm.
today we are. It's a fun Friday. Beautiful day out. And
Yep.
this morning, Preston got some swings in the cage.
Nice.
Uh, he's working on being a switch hitter
Really?
in baseball.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
Yeah.
his left-handed swing is actually almost more smoother.
Yeah.
Smoother. Take out the more. But he just needs reps at it, So it's something he could do. Just has to rep it out.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything happened today?
No, not really.
Man, I ain't gonna go through details. Let's just say I have some anxiety that occurred um, from a job that I've just taken over for a little bit for the fall, and that I
Okay.
don't like, but we'll see what happens out of it.
All right. Maybe off the record, you can tell me a little more about that.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, I think today Ray has a game for me because like I
Yep.
said, we've gone to our games and hopefully you enjoy playing along. But he says he's got a special game for me. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
I forget where I drew my inspiration, but I somehow I got on the Savanna, Illinois Wikipedia site, and I started to think, I wonder if Ryan knows this about his own hometown. And as I did my research and typed some of this stuff up, I thought to myself, if you had a similar question for me about Fulton, I might not know it. So we'll dive right into it. But you've been a few years removed from Savannah, but you still get back every now and again, right?
Yeah,
So this is all from Wikipedia. I don't know how updated it is or how accurate it is, but I'm believing that it's 100% legit. Are you ready?
I don't know. Old sir, I could be in trouble. All right,
That's
go ahead.
no one's watching, so.
That is true.
Who is the current mayor of Savanna, Illinois?
Al Pacino.
Nope, he was just removed recently. Chris Lane, Lain. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah,
Is that a
yeah.
dude you went to high
I've heard
school
of.
with?
No, no,
Because people your age are probably starting to run for office in Savannah, right?
not really.
Not
But
yet?
not that I know of. No.
Okay, okay.
Oh, for one.
That's all right.
No.
There's no right or wrong answer. We're just
I
learning.
should have known that one. I've seen it in the paper.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me like the name of the mayor maybe when you were a youth? Is there a name that you remember?
Yeah. I think Gene Flack.
Okay.
Oh
I don't
no,
have any other names, so.
I think. Uh,
What is the current population of Savannah, Illinois? And
one
by the way,
million.
this is as of I think 2018 or 2019. It isn't maybe present day, but the last time there was a census posted.
$1 million. 1 million. Now I'm going to say 1,250.
A little light. You want a second guess?
5,280.
Now you're heavy. 2,729. So
Okay.
a shade over 2,700. Does that
Right.
seem about right?
I'll count it up when I go there next
Yeah.
time.
You just go house to house and yeah, that
Yep.
makes
Census.
sense. So 10 years ago in 2010, it was a little over 2,900. Okay. So in the last 10 years, 200 people have left Savannah. You feel like that's accurate?
I would say so. Probably, yeah.
Okay. And in 2000, 3,500.
Ooh.
So they've lost like 800 in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
That seems a little, I don't know.
Well, even before,
Same thing's happening in Fulton. I'm 100% sure.
it's just
I'm,
we lost, lost some of our major
yep.
employers,
Yeah.
and there's just not a lot of jobs around the area.
Hmm. So I was kind of surprised you threw out the number 5,000. At its peak in the 1920s, Savannah had a population of over 5,200.
Wow.
So it is now half the size of what it was 100 years ago.
Dang it.
And I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my head around Savanna with a population of 5,000, you know? Any of your relatives talk about the good old days in Savanna when it was a little more bustling?
Nope.
Average age of a person living in Savanna.
38.
45. I would
I
have
was
thought
think
it would have been a little higher.
I was thinking 43 to start with, and I thought that was a little high. But
Okay.
all right.
Think long, think wrong.
Yep.
It's just like we talked about this. When I go back to my hometown, it just feels a little bit older. It feels a little bit less kept up with than it did when I was younger. Do you feel that way when you drive into Savannah?
I don't know in terms of it. Kind of looks what it has. It just
Yeah.
the downtown area I would say is cleaned up a little bit in certain areas. But yeah,
I
Savannah needs
did.
an overhaul.
Well, that's one thing that I found in my research is that just recently, like in the last 10, 15 years, they did try to update the downtown area, but make it look nicer, but to keep its like what do you call that? Like the look of the older buildings. I don't know what that's called, but like the light poles, for instance, they didn't go like completely modern. They tried to make it match like the older buildings, right?
Okay.
So I mean, they didn't show any pictures or anything like that, but there was like a paragraph about how Savannah's tried to do that. So you're right on the money that they have, like they freshened up the downtown area.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so they have the police, they have fire, and they have like a full like EMT service or something like that. All three facilities are on the same avenue. What's that avenue called?
Chicago.
Yeah, good job, man. I could almost see you going through the map like in your head, you know, like
I thought it was Chicago right away, and then I
okay.
had to think through a little bit.
All right. Now this said the median income of a household in Savannah. So just each house. I don't know how they figure this out, but median means like right in the middle. It's not necessarily a true average, but there
Right.
is equal above, equal below. What is
Yeah.
the median income of a household?
37,000.
You're pretty close. 35,000. Not too bad. Now I looked up Fulton. Fulton just a little bit more, but not much. And then I looked Sycamore up because there's obviously a connection there.
Yeah.
Sycamore about twice as much as Savannah.
Yeah.
So Savannah, obviously located right along the Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
All right. It's also right at the mouth of another river, probably a popular river. What is that river called?
Plum.
Yeah, buddy. I think you've talked about kicking it in the Plum River, right?
Yeah. Late night adventures. What did we do? One time on one of our late night adventures at high school when I was already dating Heather, we borrowed her dad's boat,
Ooh.
and it was a canoe, and we went
Okay.
canoeing. It was late, 2, 3 a.m. and just canoed under the stars.
Under the stars.
It was just me and my boys.
Okay. I was hoping it was your boys.
Yeah, it was just me and yeah.
Yeah.
Heather had no idea. We borrowed it, and yeah.
All right.
Actually, we might have done that a couple times. But anyway, yeah.
All right. All right.
The
The Plum River. Savannah. It's served by two major railroads, and your dad was a railroad guy, right? What two major railroads are served, what two major railroads serve Savannah?
They've changed names. Is it still Burlington?
Burlington Northern's one of them.
Yeah, that's where he worked. I think. I don't know the second one.
Santa Fe. Does that ring a
Okay.
bell? Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Who pays attention to that?
Yeah.
Also, and I had forgotten about this, but when after I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I've driven by that. Savannah has a small airport.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the airport? And again, that's something that may have changed a few times.
No. Is it a township?
It is. It's a Tri-Township Airport.
Okay.
Impressive, Ryan Piccolotti. I'm pleased. I'm happy for you.
Okay.
And really for Savannah. I'm happy for Savannah. Did you ever spend any time there? You go do like school, no field trips for elementary school? This is how airports work?
Nope. It's right along 64.
84 or
83. What is that? What's
I
road?
think it's 84.
80, you're right. 84.
Just north of Thompson,
Yeah.
technically south of Savannah.
Yeah.
I can see it. Maybe
Okay.
not far from New Miller Farms, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I completely forgot. I read that, and I'm like, really? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Savannah had its own hospital at one point. Did you know that?
Yes.
And you know where it's located?
Oh, shoot. Way up on the hill.
Okay. What is it now?
I want to say it's I want to say it's like a retirement home, but I'm not one, or maybe even a medical facility. I don't remember.
It's assisted living. You're right, retirement home. My dad used to call them old folks home.
Yeah.
You know the name of it?
Oh, no.
Pinnacle Place. Again, that's something that could have changed many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But it kind of like it was interesting to me that they had their own hospital.
It was out of town. You know, yeah, you know where it was?
No,
you had to go way up the hill. So you went through Savannah, like, and then one of the later turns before you started by a bridge, you had to go way up the hill and around the corner to get to it. So
I would have been scared.
Yeah.
I would probably die at the base of the hill for fear of going up.
I mean, it wasn't that, but go ahead.
Okay. What about Palisades? That's hilly. What are we talking? Hills like that?
Yeah, kind of like that. Just get up there, yeah.
How about the lookout? This is not on my little tell me about Savannah stuff, but Palisades, there's got to be some stories, kind of like the Plum River. Anything?
Not really. I mean,
you and Heather write your name on the ridge of Lookout Point or anything?
No.
A lot of hearts.
One of our buddies lived next to it, and so one time we went and went sledding down the roads of the park, which was really fun. But you know what happens when you go down?
You gotta go back up.
You gotta go back up.
That's right.
It wasn't quite as fun sledding as sledding down it, but yeah.
True.
I didn't mess around in the park too much.
Okay. In 1917, the United States Army purchased 13,000 acres of land just north of Savannah to construct what?
Savannah Army Depot.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you call it depot.
Yeah.
I always grew up with depot. We call it a depot.
Depot. I don't know.
Pool or pond.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah.
All right. What year did it close?
Ooh, well done here.
Because I remember it, and you probably do. It's kind of in our wheelhouse a little bit. More mine than yours. Those are maybe some hints, but whatever.
Yeah, I would say, gosh.
And like you, one of my best buds, his dad worked there. So, I mean, this kind of impacted them. I'm sure you had plenty of friends or family members that worked there.
I don't remember. We went to play hoops there, just fishing. I'm going to say like 94.
Okay. And 95 is when they said it was going to like officially close. They're like, hey, we have this project. I forget what it was called, the Brad or Brack or something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to close it, and it officially closed in 2000. But you're not too far off.
I was going to say 2000, but then you said in my wheelhouse. Dang it.
Well, I said more mine than yours. You were like out starting a family. I was I was college. So
okay. All right.
Whatever. Any stories? I mean, you said you went to hoop there, and so I mean, it was pretty neat. It was like its own little town. It had a gymnasium. It had a pool. I'm sure it had like a convenience store at one point, but a neat little area, really. I thought.
Yeah.
We fished there. My buddy, they had like a permanent camping lot there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we obviously, my dad didn't work there. He worked on the railroad, so we had to go with buddies. But I fished there a couple times. We would swim there. And we did play hoops quite a bit. I mean, we talked about it. It was a small court, but it was full court, and it was fun. It was just when you went in for a layup, you better make sure you were going strong, because if you were going to get fouled, you're going to run into boards. It's kind of like hockey or the indoor arena football. Arena football. There you go. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's a good comparison, to be honest with you. But so the depot and camping with my buddy, that's where I learned to sort of handle a campfire. Started with sticks and things like that. Just kidding, but more about making a fire out of little bitty embers type thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is Haven Crest Castle? They didn't have a lot of information about it, but it sounds like an interesting place.
Haven Crest Castle.
Yeah, they said it's currently an art gallery and it attracts visitors to Savanna. But you don't remember a castle of any sort?
Yeah, we had a castle, and that's where the St. Georges lived. The only castle I know of is where the St. Georges lived, who had a business that they made like mascots and stuff.
Really?
And they took over the old elementary school there, right, as you come in town.
Okay. This is news to me. But,
okay.
So you
but
think
I didn't know I don't know if their castle that name, but it was once again up on the hill.
Okay.
You couldn't get to it because it had fences, but as far as I know, that's the only castle I know.
All right. Well, you got to do a little research. You said you might go back home this weekend, do a little boating.
Yeah.
Maybe ask.
Okay.
All right. So Savanna, the Savanna Chamber of Commerce and other local groups and organizations or whatever, they put on several events each year, right? Annual events. What do you know about the Ladies' Day Out Luncheon? Phyllis ever attend that?
I don't think so. Well, maybe she does now. She didn't when I was. No, she's part of the ladies group.
Okay.
Now, so I'm sure she does.
Independence Day Parade. It's a big deal in Savannah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
What? They put this on Wikipedia. They're letting me down.
Maybe it is now.
They have a Halloween parade?
Yes, we had a Halloween parade.
Compare it to Pumpkin Fest.
About 2 hours less.
Only 2 hours. Yeah. Pumpkin Fest is like a 4-day event, right?
I know. Dude, I walked in that parade, the Halloween parade, every year.
Yeah.
As a ninja, multiple years, by the way.
Of course. So that's the thing. Anybody can go as long as you have the costume on. You walk and.
I guess, yeah. I mean, there was costume. I mean, I won some. I won one or second. Actually, I think I took fourth place in one year.
That's actually hilarious. Good job. You nailed it.
Hmm.
And then, of course, Shadfly Festival.
Heck yeah, they kind of brought that back, but been gone for years.
Really?
Yep. But
Shadfly days. That Cherry.
Shadfly days.
Yeah, I hate shadflies, by the way.
Have we talked about shadfly days
not on our podcast.
Right. For those who don't know, shadflies, what they called mayflies also.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're so heavy. They used to be in Savannah and probably in Fulton.
Yeah, I remember like the bridge would just get covered.
Yeah, where their lights, they were there. So when you would drive, all you would hear is crackle, 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 driving on these shadflies, and they're not little bugs either. It was gross. But we were used to it.
I see them every now and again, like around my house, like on the screen, the front screen door, whatever. Sometimes they'll be like hanging on there. But it's funny you mentioned, are they still around or something like that? It feels, again, maybe this is just my young kid mind back in the day, like heavy. Like I said, on the bridge.
Oh,
the streets near the river, near the Mississippi River.
And this is out.
Yeah, one reason why I don't like fireworks is because you were always battling the shadflies, around that time. But it doesn't seem as bad now. Like when I go back into time, I mean, not that I'm always there around the 4th of July or maybe during the heavy season of shadflies, but it doesn't seem as bad as it did when we were a kid.
I agree. Now, once again, I want the same thing. I don't go back as much during that time, but I don't remember my parents saying, geez, shadflies are, the same. But yeah, I mean, shadfly days. I had my first kiss.
Oh, man.
Maybe even second base. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm making that up, by the way. That's
Okay.
all a joke. Could
I wanted
have
to
been a
hear a
good
story.
story on the podcast, but no,
Yeah.
because I stopped that when I was pretty young.
Okay. Second base. They stopped second base when you were young.
No, they stopped the shad fly days. Yeah,
Okay.
they stopped me at second base.
Right. Why would they stop something like that? Here they put it on Wikipedia as a big event that that they have regularly, and then they shut it down for some time. That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. It had been years.
Okay.
They
And
brought
then they
shad
talk
fly
about
days back. Yeah.
a downtown Christmas walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Get all bundled up, freeze your cojones off, and probably sing Christmas carols.
Well, the stores are open. You can go in, and they might have some drink and food, snacks for you.
Hot
But
cocoa,
yeah, hot cocoa and
peppermint sticks.
some cookies.
Yeah.
Yep. Santa's around. You get pictures with Santa.
Yeah. Tell him what you want, make sure he knows you were on the nice list.
Yep.
Savanna has something that no other town in Carroll County has. Do you know what that is?
Stoplight.
It does. That's another one that surprised me. The only stoplight in Carroll County is in Savannah. That's how big Savannah is. You're big time.
Yep.
All right. So Wikipedia always has notable people, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I was surprised to see your name's not on there. I
I'm
was
gonna put it on there.
I could because anybody could, right?
I know.
All right. After the podcast, we'll work on that. I really didn't recognize any of these names. I'm gonna see if you do. Okay.
Okay.
Helen Scott Hay. Do you know what Helen Scott Hay was known for, famous for?
I think she was the first person to wrestle a bear.
In Carroll County.
Yes.
She was an American Red Cross nurse during World War I. She was given some prestigious award for something or other.
Yeah,
You can
didn't
check
know
it
that
out.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Wayne King. Wayne King.
Wayne King he's music, like jazz or something.
You're right.
Jazz king of the world.
He's the Waltz King, America's Waltz King. Not, how do you know that?
Because we have signs. There's signs up.
Okay. I was wondering if this is part of like the elementary curriculum or whatever.
Yeah. No.
Edward B. Powell. Edward B. Powell. I'm
Nope.
still impressed by the Waltz King, by the way.
Nope.
Sign or no sign?
I don't know Edward Powell.
Okay, Edward B. Powell. He was a Hollywood orchestrator, very popular with. I mean, this is. I think I forget the dates. I'll mess up the years or the era, but like he composed like for a lot of musicals, like big time. He was connected with some big time people. Like it sounds like he was like either the conductor or wrote orchestras or whatever you do. He was pretty big time.
Okay.
How about Tom? I'm gonna mess up this last name. Tommy Trichel. It's like Steve Trashel, but a little different. Tommy Trichel. Treichel. Trickle.
Nope.
He was a professional wrestler, like at the turn of the century. So when you said Helen Scott Hay, the bear wrestler, you were like, would have been closer.
Yeah. Dang it.
But I mean, seriously. So think about. I was thinking Ryan Piccolotti. There's a couple more, by the way.
Yeah.
Your big musical guy. It seems to be a Savannah thing with Wayne King and Edward B. Powell, and you got that wrestling, background, professional wrestling, and one of your notable people from Savannah, big wrestler. Just saying. How about Tyson Kendall, Kindell, also known as Billy Zoom? Tyson Kendall or Billy Zoom?
He was the fastest man in the world in 1948.
No.
Dang it.
Second guess?
He's the head of Tyson Chicken.
Pretty close. Founding member and original guitarist for the punk band X. No? Darn it.
Come on, I'm waiting for the one I know.
Okay. But by the way, I think this Tyson Kendall guy is like, I think he's around your dad's age. Like my dad would have been about the same age also. So I'm thinking that was like maybe one of the first of his like punk band genre,
Yeah,
right? I mean, wouldn't that have to be maybe?
I would say so.
Pete Lister. Pete Lister.
Dad of Sonny Lister.
Mm, pretty close. Professional baseball player, MLB, played 22 games with the Cleveland Dabs or something like that in 1907. Yeah,
Okay.
Cleveland something, whatever they were back then. Last one, Dale Gardner.
Yes.
You guys,
Astronaut.
this is the one. He was a former NASA astronaut, and what is named after him? And some probably a lot of things, but there's one very notable thing with his name on it.
What, in Savannah?
Yeah,
What was his name?
Dale Gardner.
Nah, I
You
don't
were
know.
so excited, and then you already forgot.
Yeah,
his
I
name.
don't know what was named after him.
I'm gonna tell you something. We've talked about a legendary thing connected with Savannah many times. It's like one of my favorite things about Savannah. No longer there. In 2017, gone. 2018, demolished, and they put something else in its place. And they put this dude's name on it.
Oh, the Sebula Savannah Bridge?
Yes, the bridge.
All right.
So I didn't know that. We've talked about the bridge that you could see through, right?
Yeah,
That's gone now?
that's gone.
I just found that out in my research here.
Yep.
I'm kind of like saddened by that. I wish I would have had an opportunity to get back out there and see it one more time.
That bridge was scary.
It was scary, terrifying.
It was slender.
Yeah, you've said
And
this before. You didn't want another car coming.
no, especially a semi, and you could see through it.
Yeah, I mean, we would stop because like it was one of those things like where like my dad or mom would be like, "Oh yeah, you can see through the bridge." So they would stop at like some point, like the top of the bridge, open the car doors, and you'd look down, and it's kind of scary, terrifying. And then you just go on your way. I don't remember other traffic coming or whatever, but yeah. So I was flabbergasted that there's a new bridge. So now I want to go back to Savannah, check out the new bridge, and it has Dale Gardner's name on it. And
Yeah.
Dale Gardner's. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, his apparently again, and Wikipedia said he claims his like hometown to be Clinton, Iowa. I have no idea why. If you're gonna like big time Savannah, don't do it with Clinton, Iowa. You know what I mean? There's like 4 places that are not more big time than Savannah. Clinton's one of them, right? But his mom resided in Clinton until her passing just a couple years ago. But that would have been neat, wouldn't it, to like talk to an astronaut or the mother of an astronaut? I mean, from Savannah, Illinois, that just blows my mind. 2 space trips. He went in a space shuttle up into outer space. Like that just I'm flabbergasted, right?
Yeah.
From Savannah, Illinois.
Yep.
Graduated from Savannah High School.
And sold us out.
And sold you out. Yeah.
You know when this with NASA and stuff, when the space shuttle blew up,
Yes.
we had a teacher that almost made it to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Final
And
cut.
and he was our band director.
Ooh, yes.
And I was actually in class with him
Watching.
when it went down.
Ooh,
So needless to say, he got a little emotional. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have. Wikipedia didn't have a ton of information on Savannah, but there were some nice nuggets there, I thought.
I was waiting for what's the nickname of Savannah. They named him the Sportsman Paradise.
Seriously?
We have a sign there. Savannah's a Sportsman Paradise.
Okay, I do want to give you some time to maybe add maybe a little bit of history that you know that wasn't in Wikipedia or that I didn't mention. But I remember like as a young kid, as a ute, as you like to say, coming into Savannah from Fulton, from Thompson, there was a building on the right, and it looked like it may have been like I was going to say like an old school, but
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Okay. And on the side was painted, I think, like a wrestler, right? Because Savannah did have like maybe in the 70s had a rich history of wrestling.
70s and 80s, we were really good in wrestling.
So what's the story behind that painting? They just want to say, hey, we're good at wrestling, or? Was it
Yeah, it was
supposed to be
kind of
like a
like what the
person?
green signs are now. I think it says that we were state champions or such and such.
Okay. That was like a landmark you always looked forward to
Yeah.
seeing when you come into Savannah.
Yep.
So your turn. Tell me about history. Anything we miss or anything, you know, no?
No, no, not really.
All
I
right.
mean, I don't know much more than that. Obviously, what also hurt Savannah was when Swiss Valley Colony moved out. We lost a lot of jobs for that.
Yeah.
Um, we had bowling alley.
No more?
No more. No,
Dang.
no. And the bridge now from like Fulton
Hmm.
there was over. We call it Viaduct. It was Viaduct Road. That was also very scary to walk across. I couldn't because I'm afraid of heights, but
Yeah.
it was always because I grew up in that neighborhood. So we would walk across that. But
I can just
no,
see you
I
like
mean,
walking fast, like making a beeline to get over as soon as
no, just
possible.
walking slow. Walking
Slow?
slow. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
Uh no, not really. I mean,
All right. Well, I'll say, we don't get a ton of hits on YouTube, but very honestly, I grew up a little bit south of Savannah, and I do maybe talk smack towards Savannah every now and again. But it's a nice, I mean, it's a neat place to drive through. They do have some history. It is beautiful in the fall, right? So
yeah,
a lot of your
yep,
motorcycle traffic likes to go through there and see the changing leaves, and a lot of people on their way to Galena. It is a neat historic little town. So any of our listeners that maybe in the summer months or you want to get away, head out towards the Mississippi, check out Fulton and or Savannah and Palisade Parks, the old depot. Apparently it's like an industrial park now or something. You can check out some of these landmarks.
yeah. Savannah, they have a bunch of bars that have become kind of a. They have an area where it's become motorcycles. I mean, in the summer, it's heavily populated with motorcycles, and of
Hmm.
course, a lot of people now know Savannah by Poopies.
Yep.
The bar that started a motorcycle bar and has a little bit of everything now. But yeah, if you talk about Savannah now, that's what they're kind of known for
Sure.
is that area. But it's beautiful for if you're a hunter. A lot of
Yes.
people come there hunt. Sebula, there's still a lot of from here. There's people that that I talk to. Yeah, we used to have a boat in Sebula, um, across the Mississippi from Savannah.
Hmm. And don't forget to stop by Manny's if you hit Savannah or if you hit Fulton and you're gonna get hungry. Stop by Manny's. Pizza, tacos, you'll love it.
Yep, yep. Just like you love this podcast, we hope.
You love it so much you tell a friend. You tell 5 friends.
Please. All right, thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
good work. I like that. I like that. I don't know what my grade probably would have been
I
C
think you did all right.
C minus
No,
C plus. I'm used to
grade you
that.
on a curve.
Oh, all right. All right. Until next time, America.